I'm Mike Beer, the Canis Robb Professor of Business Administration Emeritus at the Harvard Business School. I'm here to discuss my book, Fit to Compete: How Honest Conversations about Your Organization's Capabilities are the Key to a Winning Strategy. It will be published by Harvard Business Review Press in 2020. This book is for senior executives and their strategic HR or communication partners who are facing issues of strategic management. That is, the inability to execute their strategy as quickly or as effectively as they need to, given the competitive environment. There are many reasons cited for failures to execute strategy: poor leadership, wrong structure, dysfunctional policies and practices, and many, many others. The real underlying reason, however, is organizational silence, the inability of people at lower levels to tell the truth to senior management about what's really going on in the organization that's blocking effective execution of the strategy. This book is about how honest, collective, and public conversations led by leaders in hundreds of organizations around the globe have managed to accelerate change and get to the underlying reason for the lack of strategy execution and effectiveness. When we analyzed the honest, collective, and public conversations that were held in these organizations, we found that lower levels had a surprising number of insights about why the organization was not executing strategy. And these were very useful to senior management in thinking about what to do, what to change. They identified 6, I call them silent killers, because like hypertension or cholesterol in the human body, they are really the underlying real source of the issues the organization is facing. They were, number 1, unclear strategy and conflicting priorities. In some cases, very few or unknown human values in the organization. Number 2, people below the top saw the ineffectiveness of their senior team as one of the major causes for the problems in the organization. Number 3, the leader was either directly or indirectly implicated because he or she were not engaged enough with lower levels, too top down, or too hands off. They weren't really forcing a good conversation at the senior team level or the organization about what was really going on. 4, lack of good coordination across the silos of the organization, which was blocking all kinds of problems like product development, process issues, and so on. 5, they identified inadequate leadership development as a source of problems, resulting in fewer senior key leaders in the organization who could execute strategy and various aspects of the strategy. And the last and 6th one was the inability of them telling the truth to senior management. They, in many cases, knew about many of these problems for a fairly long period of time before this opportunity for an honest, collective, and public conversation came about. The primary lesson in this book is that honest, collective, and public conversations through a structured platform like the strategic fitness process is essential for discovering and improving key problems in the organizations, which we have called the silent killers. These are basically barriers that are human barriers. They're socio-emotional problems of the senior management relating well and creating trust between lower levels and clarity of direction between parts of the organization that are not working well together. It essentially improves the whole system. And these capabilities are essentially socio-emotional capabilities. Think about relationships. If you have a relationship with a spouse and a partner or a friend, it's very easy to make a mistake, to forget to include, to forget to tell them something, to forget to communicate. This very quickly leads to an erosion of trust and commitment to that relationship, and commitment to the larger purpose that you're joined together for. Honest, collective, and public conversations are a way of creating socio-emotional health in the organization. The capacity of people to trust and become committed to the organization to enable senior management to change. The methodology I used to arrive at the conclusions in the book is called action research. It is a way by which scholars, acting as consultants, work with leaders to try to develop some intervention, some approach to solving a business, management, and organizational problem. In this case, I developed the strategic fitness process, which I've talked about as an honest, collective, and public conversation about what's going on in response to CEO Regal Martin of Becton Dickinson back in 1990 to help him create an organization that was more capable at executing strategies. He was finding resistance and slow change to occurring. The strategic fitness process is a simple method that asks the senior team to define a direction that they want the company or the business unit to go in. It's the strategy and or their values or cultural objectives. It then asks them to appoint a task force of 8 or so of their best people, 2 to 3 levels down below them, to go interview 100 others with a statement of direction in hand and asking them what are the strengths of the organization to execute the strategy and what are the barriers. And that analysis of the barriers led to the silent killers, and it led us to understand why this process was so powerful and effective in accelerating change. This book is different from many others because it goes beyond general advice, which is given in hundreds of books and articles that are written about management. It offers a time-tested, well-researched method or approach, which I call the strategic fitness process, which enables honest, collective, and public conversations to be a useful and practical method for leaders and HR executives, their partners, to help accelerate change in the organization. Most advice usually focuses on one aspect of the organization. Let's change the structure. Let's improve the strategy. Let's create a leadership development program because our leaders need to know better what we're trying to do. All of these are potentially useful and nudge the organization forward, but they fail to create the real accelerated change that's required because they don't include all the facets of the organization that need to change. That is, all the facets that need to be aligned, or what I call fit the strategy. The structure, the leadership, the processes of the organization, the IT system, all of them need to be changed collectively, together, because they all affect each other. Senior executives and their strategic partners, from the CEO down to business unit leaders, geographical region leaders, face an ever-changing competitive environment. And it's important for them to be able to execute successively new strategies that they have to use to be effective and to be competitive. They have no way to really improve what I call the quality of the organization to achieve their purpose. The strategic fitness process and the honest, collective, and public conversation that it enables allows them to basically accelerate change to improve an agile, continuously improving organization, just like the quality process that is used to improve production systems enables quality professionals to really have a methodology for helping quality of products improve. This book is about improving the quality of the most important product, your organization, which achieves all other value creation products in the organization. And this is a tool for strategic HR partners to work with leaders collaboratively. It puts them at the table and to improve the quality of the organization.